And I'm back. Castian Plague. Alrighty, we have our final. Here we are. Loving it. Slapped hams. Finally doing it again. It's been a couple of days since my last one. So this one is old. Most people have probably watched it, but if you haven't, check him out. Slapped hams with Callum. Anyways, let's go. Hope it's a good one.
Most people who get arrested fear being alone in a jail cell. According to this footage from Paranormal Activity World, there might be something very different to fear. In this video, we see a man behind bars in a maximum security cell. He's standing alone in solitary confinement, looking through the bars. When the man in the cell takes a small step to the side, things get really bizarre. When the prisoner steps to the side, he no longer seems to be alone in his cell. With his body out of the way, we see a bizarre shadow figure lurking just behind him. The shape is terrifying. It almost appears to be part human, part arachnid. It has a human head, but seems to move on a set of spindly legs, staying down near the floor.
Still, that's creepy.
The shadow quickly disappears, stepping back behind the man after he moves. Clearly, this entity has some attachment to this unfortunate prisoner, using him to hide from other prying eyes.
Now you're locked in there with it.
Imagine being trapped behind bars all alone when you realise there may be a shadow person sharing the cell with you.
He's screaming, "Let me out!" That's creepy. Alrighty, where is it? This one? Funeral home encounter. Gotta love a good spook in a funeral home. Or even a cemetery.
Strange encounter at a funeral home. It was allegedly captured by a security guard doing his rounds late at night.
What's he doing?
In this footage, we see what appears to be the lobby of a large funeral home. The video is taken from a distance, but appears to focus on the entrance, where visitors come into the funeral home. At the far end, there's rows of metal poles used to direct large crowds. As the guard's camera rolls, we can see a metallic glint coming from the other side of the lobby. On closer inspection, we see the silver metal bar of one of the poles moving on its own. It rocks back and forth. It's quite clear there's nothing around that could be moving the pole. This footage was taken in a funeral home, so some sort of ghostly entity is an obvious culprit. Perhaps the spirit of someone whose funeral was held in this building.
Perhaps. It could very well be. Could be many things. Just the one that need more for that, but yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I'd probably get a bit spooked and run. Might stick around though. Because, like, you'll want to see. You'll want to know. Where are we? Here we go. We got Cleanwater Demon House. Let's see what this house has in store.
Investigators spot in their visits to abandoned and haunted places. This video, however, is enough to leave even the most seasoned paranormal aficionados feeling rattled. This investigation takes place at the Cleanwater Demon House in Reno, Nevada, USA. According to the stories surrounding this property, more than a dozen people have met tragic ends in the house. There have been numerous reports of paranormal activity taking place there.
We've got that old attic.
Investigators visit the property in hopes of finding evidence of demonic activity.
So let's grab the SLS camera,
Bring on the demonic activity.
Grab the Oculus and let's head in there and just kind of do a walk around and see what's going on.
The investigators use numerous pieces of equipment, including a night vision camera and spirit box.
Numerous pieces of technology. Yes, and that is cool. That is a laser grid.
Spirit boxes operate by scanning through radio waves in supposedly haunted places, allowing any entities in the area to make their voices heard using the waves. As the investigators explore the house, the spirit box quickly begins talking.
Ambition.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
Applet. Children.
Applet and
Technology
children?
1 point on the
Shove.
scare.
It says a lot of random words, but one quickly stands out: nail. As the box speaks this word, the investigator looks down and realizes he was inches away from piercing his foot with several large nails.
Nail. Watch.
Oh my God. Look what I almost stepped on.
Chief.
And it said nail watch. And there's all these nails right here. And I stopped because I didn't want to step on it. And it said
Disregard.
nail. Disregard. Threshold. What?
That's crazy.
As they keep exploring and the spirit box continues chattering, the investigators locate bones on the floor. Just as they spot the bones, the box states break.
Bones. Give me some bones.
See these bones?
Break. Please. O-I.
Break, please. You said,
Oh, bones.
look at these bones. And then it goes, break, please.
Moments later, one of the men
Big
claims to have
bones.
seen a figure pass the door.
It's got like a weird, very
What was that? What was that? What they're doing? Where is it?
weird layout. What the was that?
What?
Something just went by the door.
Diction. Swim.
Run!
Something just went by this.
They then discover strange symbols written on the walls. They ask the spirit what the symbols mean, and it says anti-prey.
What does that mean? Oh, I'm getting bad.
Anti-prey.
Anti-prey?
The camera begins detecting movement in various places around the room.
These are weird.
Leather.
It's like doing that. Look. Oh, there. Oh, that was somebody.
Like, currently, I'm in the way of this footage, but so they're doing a whole bunch of that. How long does this go for? The majority of it right here. Well, I'm not gonna watch all of it, so pretty much a walk through a spooky place with a spirit box, grid, and all the other high technology you would need. So let's just go to the next one. Once I find it, it's eluding me. Go to here.
Long day. Unfortunately for the patrons of Barney Mac's Bar in Drogheda, County Louth Island, their time at this bar isn't always peaceful. The bar was a
Exploding, eh?
regular haunt of a man named Joe Murphy for years. Not long ago, the regular unfortunately passed away. However, the staff at the
Poor
bar
Joe.
believe he still occasionally comes to visit. In this footage, recorded by the bar's CCTV system, we see a pint of beer on a table in front of a guest.
If you can see it, watch the pint. Right there. Watch it.
One of the patrons stands up, and while he's not looking, the pint glass explodes, sending beer and shards of glass all over the table. After the explosion, the patrons simply stare at the broken glass, flabbergasted. According to the staff, this isn't an unusual occurrence. Ever since the passing of Joe,
Well, Joe, you did it again. You got Joe doing that.
Murphy,
Coming up
exploding
soon.
pints have been an occasional problem. Those who work there
Must have
have
been the
gotten used
Joker
to the strange
of the group
emergencies of their
at
late
that pub.
customer, but it still terrifies customers who aren't used to Joe's shenanigans.
Shenanigans, Joe. What's with all the shenanigans?
A lot of people are working and attending school online these days, but meetings and classes
school.
don't usually yield scary videos. At least that's what Twitter user Freddy Giza thought. The teacher claimed to be alone in his recently purchased home in Nuevo Leon, Mexico, while teaching the class. Yet the students attending seemed to think that something else was present that day. The teacher is presenting against a blank wall with a doorway just behind his left shoulder. It's this doorway that becomes the center of attention when a pale face seems to peek into the room.
No me suena la tinga
That
en
is a
alemán,
person, not a
pero
ghost.
The entity appears to be a pale young woman with dark hair. The teacher glances over his shoulder several times but is unable to see the creepy entity. At one point, he closes the door to end the distraction that the strange entity is causing. Towards the end of the video, he moves the camera around the house to show that he's alone except for his dog.
Well, you had someone break in without you noticing, sneak around, and go, oh, someone's here. Bye. So, yeah, very sneaky to be able to do that, though. Said I might be in the footage. If I am, just go check it out. Ready? We go to 1, 2, but number 1. Let's go watch this last one. Abandoned care home.
Are popular locations for scary videos.
Looks really nice.
In this exploration by YouTubers Finders Beepers History Seekers, they visit a former care home. According to the stories about the place, it would seem the elderly residents who lived at the facility had a difficult time during their residence there. The facility was reportedly shut down because of widespread accusations of abuse, neglect, and deplorable living conditions. Given the history of the building, it's unsurprising that numerous
Yes.
ghost hunters
Awesome
have
for
found
a
their
music
way to
video,
this
that would
building.
be.
So this place was eventually shut down for a catalogue of abuse. It was really terrible. Some of the people were classed as being put in cells. The bedrooms were that bad. They were locked away, ignored.
The investigators take their time moving
Tortured.
through the building, examining the
souls.
rundown state of the place, a perfect setting for a ghost hunt.
Like Chainsaw Massacre type horror film,
Looks
yeah.
really good. So,
You can imagine people being locked up down here.
At one point, they find a logbook containing complaints issued by visitors who were horrified by the conditions their relatives were living in.
Arrived, he didn't look suitable to enter the building on account of him having a wild expression in his eyes.
they're catching though. That's
How can...
Psychopath coming in.
But yeah, you can see it goes up again. Hey, wait
Hey,
up.
there's someone there.
Hello?
I saw that.
It only appears for a second before disappearing into the shadows.
See it goes up again. Hey, wait up.
But then, when the men reach the floor where the shadow vanished, they discover that there's nothing but a wall. This indicates that nothing corporeal could have caused the mysterious shadow.
Wall with a hole.
But they went that way,
Goes
and there's no
outside.
way you can go.
If you slow the footage down, you can indeed see a solid shape moving at the top of the stairs.
Solid as cement. Solid as concrete. Solid as a rocket was. It ran. And eluded you. Well, that was Slapped Ham. Go to my profile. Please check it out and subscribe. I'd love to get to the 1,000 mark to be able to do some lives. Like I said, so many things we can create, but we'll leave it up to the progress, and hopefully we can reach that mark. Thank you as well to everyone recently who just subscribed. You are awesome, and it's going to be a big help. Thank you. Good night, good morning, or good evening, wherever you are. I'm Castian Plague.